All right. Blanket. No, that's not a blanket. That's a block. You'll need a block and a strap for this class. Lie down on your back. Okay, class is over. My back feels much better. Just lay down on your back, call it a day. Let's start in constructive rest pose. A couple things to consider as we get underway here. One, the inhalation creates a natural expansion and elasticity in the abdominal tissues. The exhalation, especially towards the end of an exhalation, creates a little bit of a natural contraction. So all the work where we're contracting will be on the exhalations. On the inhalation, think of lengthening, softening, expanding, right? Number two, anytime where you feel like your breath starts to get distorted, it's best to just stop, take a rest, and then come back into it. And three, in between this strengthening work that we're doing, we'll add in some twists or some poses that sort of relax us a little bit. So it's not just go, 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 start to finish. Okay? All right. So widen your feet, knees and feet about hip width apart. Take your right foot just a couple inches off the ground. And slowly bring the right knee towards your chest a little bit. Feel the effect on your lower back. Here it's quite long and broad and grounded. And then in slow motion, inhale, inhale, touch your right foot back on the ground, exhale, pause. Take your left foot off the ground a couple inches. Without using your hands, left knee's coming in towards your chest. Feel here how in this position the back is much longer and more grounded. Inhale now. I'm going to slowly, slowly let these tissues elongate. Left foot on the ground. Exhale, right knee comes in. Inhale, right foot comes down. Exhale, left knee comes in. Inhale, left foot comes down. We'll just do a couple of these. Exhale, knee comes in. You can see we don't need a lot of movement to strengthen. Really strengthening, the best strengthening happens with slow, very mindful, methodical approach. All right, rest your feet on the ground. Now, my lower back starts to arch up off the ground a little bit. I don't know if you can see that here. I'm going to make a little hammock. I call this hammock hands. Make a little pillow or hammock for my head. As I exhale now, I'm going to press my lower back into the ground. Right? I don't need to lift very high at all. I'm going to bring my elbows towards each other. I'm not going to jam the throat and neck. You can hear I'm still breathing. And then inhale. I'm going to rest my head back down, let the elbows open out, lower back lifts a little bit. Exhale, curl, lift up. Inhale, lengthen lower back arches. Exhale, tailbone curls under, just like cat-cow on our back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale, rest back down. You can see, working with multiples of 5, certainly you could do sets of 7 or 10 or more, but the goal here is just to sort of introduce you to some of the ways of strengthening this musculature without overdoing it, without bursting any blood vessels in your forehead. Okay, right. Right foot into the belt. You can see my favorite all-time poses. I'm going to give the leg a few moments just to straighten and focus on that. Now, this is my right leg. I'm going to hold the straps in with my left hand. Right? And again, for straight, for some of you, it looks something more like that. That's fine. Make a pillow with my right hand. Actually, never mind. I'm going to hold with my right hand. As I exhale, I'm going to lift up, bring my left elbow somewhat towards right knee. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift, contract, curl. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, contract, lift, curl. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, contract, lift, curl. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, contract, lift, curl. Inhale, lower down. Okay, good. Both feet into the belt. And then step your right foot down on the ground. A couple moments to release the back of your left leg, spreading the toes, reaching your heel up towards the sky. Hopefully at this stage, hopefully at this point, you're utilizing your belt a lot every day, ideally. I'm going to hold the straps with my left hand. My right hand's going to make a little pillow for my head. Inhale, soft belly. Exhale, coiling, lifting up. Elbow comes towards the knee. Inhale. You can see there's no momentum. Speed is actually not helpful at all here. Slow contraction, exhale. Inhale, elongate. Slow contraction, exhale. Inhale, elongate. Slow contraction, exhale. Inhale, elongate. Rest your head down on the ground. Both feet into the belts. Okay. You might have to separate the feet a little bit. Now, again, this works just as well with slightly bent legs, but you can work towards straightening them. Now, I'm going to let my hands slide down away from my feet. I'm going to take both legs forward a little bit. You can see I don't need to go very far. And then I'll bring the feet back towards my head. Then I'll take both legs over to the right a little bit, and back to center, over to the left a little bit, back to center, right? And then I can try some small circles. That's one direction. I think that's the name of a boy band, One Direction. My wife is going to see them soon. I guess it's a girl thing. I don't know. You can see how these movements, you'll feel how these help you to sort of sense this sort of the vast surface area of your abdominal muscular tissues. Way up here, out here, down here by the pubis. Right? So it gives you sort of a sense of all the different areas of those four muscle groups. Good. Bend your knees, bring them into your chest. So we've done sort of 7, 8, 9 minutes already of gentle abdominal work. We'll take a brief pause here. Happy baby, holding ankles, or if it's comfortable for you, big toes. If your happy baby looks like this, then again, probably better you hold shins or ankles. And then set your feet on the ground. Hammock, both hands. Right knees lifting, torso's gonna lift. You're gonna do a little bit of a twist, right? Not the super fast gym bicycles, nice and slow, no swinging of the body, no momentum, inhaling, contracting, exhale. Inhaling, contracting, exhale. Rest your head all the way on the ground, so the throat and neck release. Exhale. Exhale. I think that was 5 or so. If it wasn't, let's just call it 5, okay? We'll call it 5, each side. Now, take your feet in a little bit closer towards you. Press your arms down alongside of you, lift your pelvis up, right? Bridge pose, Setu Bandha in Sanskrit. This creates a softening here of the abdominal tissues, and abdomen is sort of like this watery filled sac, and it feels like it's sliding down and up underneath the ribs into the chest cavity, sort of relaxing those abdominal areas that we've been targeting, and then lower yourself down. Let's go one more set of 5, each side. Inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, right? Yeah, if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, keeping the lower back supported, right? Both legs can stay off the ear. That's sort of what we see more often in gym classes, but you can keep your head off the ground too. But think, exhale nice and slowly, contract. Inhale, head rests into this hammock, knees come together. Exhale, slowly contract. Inhale, exhale, one leg straightens, one leg bends. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And rest. Take your block. We're going to use the medium width, not the narrow edge, but the medium width. I'm going to put that between inner thighs. Right? This is a cork one, so it's quite heavy. Legs compress into the block. That activates the inner thigh musculature, which helps to activate the deeper abdominal musculature layers. Right? And this is from Krishnamacharya, the great Krishnamacharya. It's a flowing bridge. So inhale here. Exhale, compress the block. Arms come down. Right? A little contraction, hamstrings, lower glutes. Compression of the block with the thighs. Whoops, and then inhale, lower down. Exhale, arms lowering to your sides as pelvis lifts, as inner thighs squeeze the block. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift, coil, contract. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift, coil, contract. If any of these don't feel right for your back, then just skip it. Right? We can't say that any single exercise or pose is good for you or bad for you. And that might vary day to day. But again, overall, this class is all about safe, effective movements for strengthening our midsection in a way that doesn't put our spines or put our backs in any sort of vulnerable or dangerous positions. For the most part, again. But for some people, this may not feel so good. I don't know. Exhale. Inhale. Because my hamstrings tend to be a little bit on the tighter side, since I have the block, I'm going to bring knees into chest. I'll start to straighten the legs just to get a brief release here for them. more advanced classes maybe later on this year is we can do all sorts of other things like this and such, but this is intended to be sort of just an intro to this sort of work. Okay, good. Block at the side. Now, one more area, sort of this outer abdominal area, and the abdominals actually wrap around the waist into the lower back. Right? So, you can bring your knees together, feet flexed, legs at about 90 degrees. I'm going to put my palms on the ground so the arms act as stabilizers. Then I'll take the knees a little bit over to the left. I'm going to hold there for a moment. You can see I don't have to go too far. My legs are going left. I'm thinking about the left side of my abdomen spiraling and wrapping around towards my right side. And then come back to center. I'm going to bring my legs a little bit over to the right. I'm going to hold there. To some extent, the bottom leg is lifting the top leg. Right side of belly spiraling across towards the left. And come back. Straighten my legs so my hamstrings don't get crampy, and rebend. Again, over to the left. See how you can go a little farther. The farther you go away from the body, the more demanding it's going to be. And of course, the harder it is to come back. So just make sure you can find your way home safely. Inhale, knees over to the right. Exhale, contract and lift. Inhale, knees over to the left. Exhale, contract and lift. Inhale, knees over to the right. Exhale, contract and lift. As need, as you go through these, feel free to straighten your legs at any time. Right? Here in this position, the hamstrings are contracting, so if they feel like they're gripping too much, let's go one more time. Inhale, I'm going to go a little further towards the ground. Exhale, come back. Inhale over to the right. Exhale, come back. I almost didn't make it back on that one. And this last one, you earned it. Slowly take your legs all the way over to the left. Recline, twist, and then this right arm you can turn over so the shoulder relaxes a little bit more. Left hand here on top of the thighs. Fullness of breath, softness of abdomen here as you breathe. Now, to come out of this, since the legs are all the way on the ground, what you might try doing, first let your right leg lift, and it comes back to about the midway point, and then bring your left leg back. That's a little easier on the body. Stabilize, center. Nice and slow, controlled descent. Try not to crash and burn. Knees all the way down. Legs come down. Top hand, a little bit of leverage on the legs. Top leg, my left leg, I'm going to bring that first back upright. And then the bottom leg, you can even sort of scoop it up and come back. And the warm embrace for legs. Soft breath, broad back. Rock a little side to side. So from here, a couple options. Let's do a brief supported bridge pose first. Maybe a minute or longer. Block underneath pelvis. Just the lowest height. So, relaxation for this whole front side of the body. And of course, a little bit of traction for lumbar spine. Sometimes it feels for me like my neck, throat are gripping a little bit here. Move your head side to side if it feels like it's gripping or bunching up. Relax your jaw, relax your mouth. Press your feet down, lift up, slide the block out of the way. Take your feet forward a little bit, rest your knees into each other, constructive rest. Or if you prefer, legs up the wall, or if you have a chair or couch to prop your legs over, enjoy your favorite version or straight-legged corpse pose. I'm going to stay in constructive rest here. We'll end with a little bit of a guided meditation here about the abdomen. So structurally, you can think of your belly as a water balloon. Nothing comes in or out of that water balloon, but the shape of the water balloon changes depending on where we squeeze it, right? So imagine as you inhale, you're squeezing the top part of the water balloon up here, so the bottom part of the water balloon bulges. As you exhale, you take that force up, take that force off the top, and then the water balloon sort of dissipates. As you inhale, the belly expands, sort of the bottom of the balloon bulges, and then exhale, release. Do that for a few more rounds. Arms wherever they're comfortable. For me, it's feeling like my hands want to sort of feel that movement in my belly. Let your jaw and mouth relax. Let the skin of your forehead relax. Cheek musculature. Begins to feel like your head gets heavier. Your eyes get heavier. Belly floats up and down. May this practice fortify you and bring you strength. And continue to play with this particular sequence and some of those facets and maybe see what works best for you, adapt them a little bit, modify them a little bit. But perhaps even 5 or 7 minutes of those on a daily basis could be really wonderful. All right. Namaste.